Happy Thursday and happy Facebook Live time. Welcome to Melissa's Crafting Treehouse and to another episode of Treehouse TV. And I just have to say, e como mai from Hawaii. And I still feel like I'm in Hawaii a little bit. Here's my little hat and a few of the things that I got. This was on the door when we arrived. And this was one of the gifts that they gave us with this lovely towel, beach blanket. Just love it. So there you go. There's just a few of the things. A few of the things that we got in Hawaii. So with our gifts, hello and welcome. Hi Linda, hi Charlotte. There were little tags on all of our gifts. This one says e como mai, and it means welcome. So that's why I said it. It's a common Hawaiian greeting, so try it out. So guess what I did? Hi Pam, good to see you. Thank you for the welcome home. There were a couple of other ones. I think I've lost some of them, but I just wanted to share a few of them with you. And I will do that in just 1 second. So just so you know what we're doing today, I want to do little highlights of Maui, just a few little things. And I have a giveaway. And let's see what else. A few announcements. Those are going to come at the end. I'm going to do it a little bit different this time, just kind of mix things up. So, and then my project today is my in-color bookmark. I do one every year that I give to each one of my club members. I did a little offer last week when people spent $25 while I was on my trip. They would get one of my in-color bookmarks. You're going to get to see me do it today, and I'm going to use the Stamparatus to make it. So super fun. Hi MJ, hi Gail. I probably missed somebody, so I apologize. I'll check in with you later if I missed your name. Hi Vicky. So the next, let's just talk Hawaii for a minute. So the next little tag that was in there was Haleakala, and the meaning is House of the Sun. How appropriate for Hawaii, right? A little Hawaiian lesson. Another one was Ohana, meaning family, and it says, we're so glad you're part of our Stampin' Up! Family. Isn't that wonderful? Love it. So happy to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And the last one I have is a hui hu. And this one I should have saved till the end because it says, until we meet again. Maybe I'll remember it when I say goodbye to you guys tonight. And of course, aloha is hello. So we'll start with that. Aloha, hello, goodbye, can be either, I understand, and has other deeper meanings as well. Hi Sharon, good to see you here. Hi Laura Lee, yay. Oh, you love the pictures from Hawaii, Linda. I'm so glad. If you didn't get a chance to see some of the pictures I posted while I was in Maui, I probably posted more on social media than maybe ever in a single week in my life. I posted lots of pictures of us snorkeling and various activities that we did. I even did a quick little Facebook Live on last Friday. So definitely go check that out. You guys are going to laugh. I have one other thing. I had one post that I could have sworn I actually posted. It was pictures of the last night, Saturday night. There was a really, really super fun luau. It was we were supposed to dress in white. Everybody was supposed to dress in white if you had an outfit. And my daughter and I both did that. And when we were traveling home, we were traveling overnight. It was a red eye. And I wrote the post. I tagged a bunch of pictures that I wanted to include in it of the luau. It's gone. I think I must have been half asleep, and so it never posted. So I'm planning on doing that so you guys can see a little bit of what that luau was all about, because it was super, super fun. So I see some of you are sharing this video, so thank you so much for doing that. And feel free to tag friends. I always appreciate you doing that. Now, for the giveaway today, I have a special request. So how you're going to get entries for the giveaway is to go to my Facebook page, this is where you are right now, after the live, and do a review. I understand when people do reviews on a Facebook page that it's really helpful to kind of spread the word about what you do. So I know that requires a little bit of thinking. You get to comment and, you know, just say some things about what you like about my Facebook page. Hopefully you like some things. And so yeah, do a review. That will get you entries for the prize. Now the prize, hi Jan, hi Elizabeth. Yes, I am back. I am a little jet lagged, I will say. Been taking a little while to adjust. to the change in time. But I'm doing good and glad to be here. So thank you for the welcome back. Okay, so let's see. Yes, so the giveaway today is going to be one of my bookmarks that I'm making today, and then I'm also making a second thing, so you will get, whoever wins will get those two things in the mail. So all you have to do is post a review of my Facebook page between now and next Wednesday. Let's say that. That way you have plenty of time to do it. Hopefully you'll remember. And then you'll get entered into the drawing for the my little giveaway today. Oh, I'm so glad you like my hair. Thank you. It seems to be completely unanimous. Everybody thinks I look younger with my shorter hair, and it's been fun for that, and good for Hawaii. All right, so let's see. Anything else I want to say to you? Oh, yes. So last week I did announce that you could get entered into a drawing for a giveaway of one of my Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundles. You just had to use the hashtag SSS bundle, either on YouTube or here on Facebook. And I have drawn a winner, but I'm saving it to the end. You get to know in the end. So hopefully, yeah. Anyway, just remember, stay till the end if you want to know who won. All right. So let's go ahead and face the camera down, and we will get started with the project. And I see, hi Trudy, good to have you here. Thank you for sharing. Okay, switching the camera around. All right, so here's what we're using today for my in color bookmark. The Elegantly Said stamp set. I'm using the coordinating punch. This comes as a bundle and you save 10%. And then I'm also using this punch, which the name of it, I don't know. Usually I put a label on the side, but I didn't on this one yet. But it is in the annual catalog in the punches section. So we're also using the Stamparatus for this particular project. So now to get started, and you don't have to use the Stamparatus for this, but it is really helpful to get some even spacing. And before I start with that, I just wanted to show you that I have created this PDF document. Give myself room to show you. And I have already trimmed off the bottom. And so this PDF is going to be available on my website as a free download if you're interested in making this bookmark. And my blog post will go live on Saturday. That's typically what I do after my Facebook Lives. It's got some little itty bitty instructions on the bottom of what to do. I have already trimmed off the bottom. And then I'm simply going to trim off 1 3/4 inches. The length is 7 5/8. So that's what I've trimmed it down to, top to bottom. So now if I were making a bunch of these, which of course I did because I gave them to my club members and to others, I cut a whole bunch of them. I think I ended up making, I don't know, maybe 30 or so bookmarks so far. So just trimming that off. And there's my starting place. Now let's bring in my Stamparatus, and I need to grab the ink pads. Where did I put them? How important that I needed to get those ink pads down. And I am using all 5 colors, of course. And I'm going to grab a paper towel. Just forgot a few little things as I was getting ready. Okay, so paper towel. And now we're going to go ahead and do this. Okay, so I have got my grid sheet back here, and it's set up so it's planned so that I know where to place my cardstock for each of the colors. So I have a Post-it note here because I did a lot of these, and this was getting wet and inky and getting on things where it didn't belong. So I'm just putting a Post-it note on there. I may move it at some point just to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So I'm only doing 5 images this time, so it shouldn't really be a problem. Okay, so now I've got it says Fresh Freesia right there, and I have a line. So I'm just going to place this so that it's right on the top of the line and justified on this straight line right here. Now before I did this, I planned it out so that I knew where it was going to stamp each time, and I'd be able to get it in the right place. So, and I may adjust it a little bit. So like as an example, I'm going to go like that and just kind of see if it looks like it's in the right spot. And I think I can bring it over just a titch to the right, just so that I get a little bit more of my image inked. Okay, so now I'm going to do my fresh freesia. And you can do this kind of thing with any other stamp, depending on what you're doing, if you want to have some regular placement of your images. So there's my fresh freesia, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that. And now I need my Stampin' Mist, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp my image. Spray my image and just dab it off. Make sure it's dry. It's a little hard to use the scrub this way. I could have used my chamois, if you guys know what the chamois is, but I forgot to wet it and it's hard as a rock right now. So that needs to be soaked in order to be able to use it. All right, so I've done my first one. Now the next one I'm going to do is my pale papaya. So there's my line for my pale papaya. Putting my magnet down, and we'll grab the pale papaya. I'm going to do all 5 of these colors. So when I do a bookmark, I really like to have a sample of both the ink and the cardstock, just because they sometimes look a little bit different. So my pale papaya, the color is always above the name in my bookmark, for this particular one anyway. And there's my pale papaya. Probably could have moved it a little bit to the right as well, but it's fine. Obviously the most important thing is that you clean it in between so you don't get your colors all mixed up. And I do like to start with my lighter colors first, just because it's a little bit less risky, and then I don't have to worry about getting my contaminating my ink pads, my lighter colors, with my darker colors if I happen to leave a little bit of extra ink on there by accident. Okay, and now I'm actually going to do my evening evergreen right now at the bottom. And yeah, I'm going straight to the dark, and that's okay because I'm doing these 3 right here. I'll just be careful and make sure I clean it really well. Hi, Chris. Just happened to look at the camera, my phone right at the moment. Okay, so now I'm going to ink that up, and I am going to just see if it's as far in as I want it to be. It's fine. Okay. All right, let's do this really well. Clean this off. So start with my paper towel, dabbing some excess off. Now, when I did this in my production line, if this is something you want to make as a gift for people or something of that sort, I did, a bunch of them at the same time with a single color. So definitely a lot more efficient to do it that way if you're making multiples. Okay, so now here's where a little bit of the magic comes in, or the fun anyway. Something you might not anticipate. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over. I had to figure this out, of course. And I need to do my polished pink and my soft succulent. And I think I'm going to start with my soft succulent. So I'm going to look for my soft succulent line there and just place it on the line. It's overlapping the Post-it note just a little bit, which is the line. And let's grab my soft succulent. I'd love to know what you guys think of these in colors, if there's any particular one that you especially like. I actually love them all. This is one of those rare set of colors where I just think they're all great and so fun to play with. It's a nice pale green. I think it's a good name for it, soft succulent. All right, now again, I don't want any green on my pink. So let's clean this really well. Okay, next up is my polished pink, last color. Oh, you love them all too, Pam. I'm so glad to know. They're so much fun. I don't often instantly love all of the in colors, but this time around, okay, so I definitely do. Okay, so now I just have to look for my last little line up here, polished pink. Put my magnet in place and make sure it's going to end up where it needs to be. Of course, it's above the polished pink that's upside down. And there we go. Let's just wipe this off so I can close it up and set it aside. And now all of my stamping is done. Imagine doing that, what did I say, 30 times? So fun, right? So now when I do these, I always want to, if I can, find a punch to use, because if you're doing it with a die, it just takes a lot more time. Punches are so much easier. So I decided I would play with this new punch. Oh, I see, Rita, you says you're not too fond of the papaya. Well, maybe it'll grow on you. And welcome from Canada. Love to have you here. All right, so let's see. Okay, so the punch. So what I started with was strips of cardstock like this. Now, the funny thing was, this was just a scrap, and it happens to be, I think, 1 1/8 inch wide. Let me double check so I can tell you guys. And you might want to know, this is a hint for future reference. So this is 1 1/8, as I suspected. So I'm just going to take my punch. All I really wanted to do was punch a segment that would have just about, well, you can see about that much. So it's just a little bit over well, then that's a little bit less than I did on some of the other ones, but that's fine. So anyway, that's just what it looks like, right? So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to do that. And I could have just like gone straight down the line and done one at a time. But being the way that I am, I can't help myself. I had to turn it over and do a second one. And this is how I punched my series because I was doing so many of them, right? Okay, anyway, so you get the idea. Now, obviously, I'm only going to use one of these, and I have punched all the others for each one of the different colors. And I'm going to use some of my multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'll go ahead and start on the bottom and just put a little dab. Oop, that was a lot. So now I need to spread it around because I don't want it to ooze and make a mess. So I did also bring my some in-color bookmarks to give to friends when I was in Maui, just because that is kind of a tradition in the Stampin' Up! World. Some of you may know that. So it was really fun to be able to give my bookmark to some people, and some, of course, sweet people gave me some lovely things too. Oh, Susan, you love the fresh freesia. Wonderful. Well, it is sort of a purpley color. So definitely that's kind of up my alley too. All right, and the other thing I love about these colors is that they go well together, and that is just too much fun. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck that over here between the two written words. So there you go. All right, now let's just go ahead and fast forward. So I put all of them on also quickly, right? Pretty cool. So now I'm just going to grab one of my pieces, and actually I think I'll use my evening evergreen instead. And then I'm going to use this punch. If somebody knows the name of this punch, please post it. I don't want to be looking it up now while we're here live, but it's a really nice punch for doing this kind of tag. And I always like to turn my punch over and look at the bottom to make sure that it is actually centered. It's supposed to be centered, but sometimes if there's a little wiggle room, it'll be not quite even, and then you get sort of an odd little edge. So there is my punched piece. It's a really nice little elegant top element, I think. And I already have adhesive on the back side of my bookmark, so I'm just going to go ahead and place that on top of the large piece so that it's centered top to bottom. And again, if I didn't say this, I think I did, but just in case, It was 5/8 of an inch, I'm sorry, 7 5/8 of an inch tall before I punched that. And this is just shy of 2 inches wide, so that it'll fit into the punch well. And then this white piece started at 1 3/4 of an inch. Oh, I'm sorry, this is by 7, sorry, let's start that again. 1 3/4 for the white. It's 7 5/8 tall. The backing starts at 8 1/2 inches tall and about 2 inches wide. So don't want to give you the wrong information. It will be in my blog post, but in case anybody's anxious to get started sooner, you have that information. Scallop tag, I'm not sure it's scallop tag because there's scallop tag topper punch, and that's a different one. I think that might have even retired. I think that did. This is a new one, and I don't remember the name. As the years go by, it gets harder and harder to remember everything. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that feels that way. Okay, so last but not least, I'm going to use a little bit of ribbon, and let's grab my in color ribbon. And for these ones, I chose to use the same color ribbon as the base, and just going to trim off a piece. And the way I like to do this is fold it in half, stick it in the front. Oh, I'm so glad you love the bookmark. Yes, that's wonderful. And I'm just going to open up the loop and pull it through. And then once you do that, then it's just as simple as kind of tweaking the tails to get it sort of even. And that way, by doing it through the front, you end up with sort of let's see if the light's on there better, that sort of rounded element on the front, as opposed to the back, which looks like that. I don't think it looks as pretty. So, and then you can tighten it up, and then we'll just trim off the edges, the ends. I'm partial to doing it so that they angle it the opposite way and sort of create a little V at the top. That's the way I like to do it. There's other ways, of course, that are just perfectly fine as well. All right, so there is my finished in color bookmark, okay? So there is more. So if you post a review on my website, on my blog, I'm saying the wrong thing again, on my Facebook page, do a review on my Facebook page, and you'll get entered into a drawing for this and the next thing we're gonna make. So this is really fun. I can't wait to show you this because it was really just kind of a happenstance sort of thing. So as you saw me doing here, right, I started doing my punching, and I was doing a lot of these, and in the end I ended up with all these little pieces, I'm going to show you, that looked like this. And I just thought it was so cool. I loved the shapes. I was really kind of I wasn't even trying to make it regular, but I was making the punched pieces, you know, close to one another. So I kind of ended up with varying size pieces of this element, but they're so close enough, right? So I thought there is a card here. There's a card in the making, and I didn't make this card until this evening, but it was sort of brewing in my head of something to do. So let me show you what I ended up making, just for fun. So I took a piece of my just plain white cardstock, and this is actually 4 by 5 1/4. And let's see, let me get I started with my green at the bottom, and I'm using just a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to go ahead and use my sponge with multi-purpose liquid glue. Now this is full strength multi-purpose liquid glue. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I did it with the not so full strength. Now, not last week, but the week before when I showed my project, I told you can water it down. And the version that I showed you was a little bit too watery, and my vellum came off. Some of you were really excited about that trick. So I just wanted to make sure you know that it can't be too liquidy. Otherwise, your piece won't stick. Now this is watered down, but it's not nearly as watered down as the one that I was using the other day. So you might notice that it's just not quite as translucent as what I showed you last time. It's a little thicker. So there's my sponge. I'm just putting a little bit of glue on there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it onto my squiggly little messy thing here. And put it onto my white piece of cardstock. Now I kind of got some glue on the front of this one, so hopefully it won't be too messy. Okay, so let's do the next color. And I kind of like to do this sort of in rainbow order. I'm going to kind of eyeball where I want it to be. And I kind of want to stagger the shapes just a little bit so that they're not, so I can put them close together. So I like to have this little nubby going into sort of the opening, sort of. So I'm eyeballing how much I need to put glue on. Pretty much this end here. Do it again. Okay, and then let's get that in place. So again, little nubby, my technical term here. Now, if I were doing this for real, I'm not really doing it for real. I'm doing it for pretend here. Just kidding. I would probably lay all of them out. Okay, so and I like them in what I think of as rainbow order. So in this case, it's the green goes into the papaya, and I'm going to kind of get that position, and then the pink is next because it's closest to red in my mind, and then last but not least, the fresh freesia. Again, getting my positioning exactly where I want it and placing them close together. Okay, so imagine those are all attached. Magic of TV, right? I'll probably attach them later. I definitely will attach them later, but oh geez, sticking to the paper. I'll set that aside for a moment. So imagine they're attached. I've brought my cutter in or my scissors. I've snipped off the ends, and then I grabbed my Tasteful Textile embossing folder and I ran the whole thing through this embossing folder. So it's all attached, and then I've got that really nice, fun texture on there. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. Now, I have adhesive on the back side of this, and one of the things that was interesting when I was doing it, I'm going to show you the back side, even though it's not what we're going to use, but it has adhesive on the back side. Notice the texture is actually in the shape of those punched pieces on the front. So when I saw this, I thought, ooh, there's something fun there too, right? If you did that and you wanted to sponge the backside, it would bring out this cool texture as well as the shape. So anyway, there's another little fun food for thought idea for you, just in case you want to play. All right, so I have now a white card body, just a regular 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. And I'm just going to lay this down on here. Now, I have to remember how I was thinking I was going to do this. Was I going to do the green on the bottom? I think so. And I'm just going to attach it. So by dry embossing it and having those shapes on there and all the colors, just sets it apart from the card base. I played around with some colored card bases, but I just really liked it being simple and not distracting. So there we go for that. Now, if you're going to use a sponge, one of the things that will help you be able to use this again and again is to put it in some water. So moving dangerously here. Got a little container, little recycled container, has a little bit of water, and I'm just going to stick that in there so that it can kind of soak and the glue won't get stuck on the sponge quite as much, and I'll be able to clean it a little bit more easily later. Otherwise, it sort of gets goopy and you can't really reuse it. Okay, so Tasteful Textile, you got all that, right? Oh yes, the leftover pieces. This is the funny thing, right? So I am going to use some more leftover pieces, right? So I talk about card salad, leftover pieces from creative projects that I've done. Well, I'm going to bring in some more leftover pieces. If you guys watched the week before I went to Maui, I had stamped these pieces and these backing pieces. I think I had the backing pieces to show you something else, one of my backgrounds, right? So I created this background, haven't done anything with that background yet, but I figured these sentiments would work really well with this new card that I was designing with my fun shapes. So now let's go ahead, and these all have adhesive on the back, so I'm just going to take my Celebrate, and in case you need a reminder, should let you know, we're using this Create with Friends stamp set, and as I said 2 weeks ago, I wanted to show this stamp set because I wanted to celebrate you as my stamping friends, that I am so grateful. I would not have gone to Maui if it hadn't been for all the support of my customers and my team, my family. So never enough gratitude. Mahalo, as they say, thanks or gratitude in Hawaii. So when I post the pictures for the luau, there was a really fun thing that they did at the very end. So something to look forward to when you see those photos. They actually had a big, huge mahalo in big letters. Each letter was probably, I don't know, 3 feet tall. And at the very end, they actually lit the whole thing on fire. It was so cool. So something to look forward to checking out. Okay, so now I've got my sentiments. I've got dimensionals on the back sides, and I'm just going to place these out. Sort of, I was thinking they looked best sort of, at an angle. So I'm just going to play with this a little bit. Maybe I want it the other way. I've already taken off my back side, so I think that's kind of how I want it. It covers up the pattern a little bit, which I feel a little conflicted about. I don't know, what do you guys think? But that's kind of what I'm thinking. And then I'm going to take some of my pale papaya ribbon and just tie it on the binding. Now, you might see that I've taken the sentiments and justified them a little bit to the right so that I have room for this on the right side. So let's just go ahead and tie it. So I know I haven't really talked about Maui a whole lot, but if you have any questions or things you want to know, or questions about the photos I posted or anything, just let me know. So there was, I think, about 165 to 200 demonstrators that were on the incentive trip, and it was actually 2 incentive trips wrapped into one. So if you guys saw people posting things online, you might have seen that there were people there that starting on the 15th. I only went on the 18th because I cashed out of one of my incentive trips, and of course that was due to COVID, of course. So yeah, some people were there earlier, and some people went later, like me. But that was my choice. Okay, let's just snip that off. Got a nice little element in the top left. Now I think this is kind of screaming for maybe a little gem or rhinestone or something, I don't know. So that's what you got. This is sort of a design as you go kind of thing. So let's see, what do you do to win these projects? Okay, so again, thank you for asking that, Susan. So the way to win is to go to this Facebook group, my Facebook page, my business Facebook page, and post a what is it called? What do I call it? It's a recommendation? No. A review. That's what it is. That's the word I'm looking for. Post a review. Just tell people what you think about my Facebook page, what I do on here, the projects that I share, anything that inspires you. I understand that it's really good to have reviews on your website, on your Facebook page, to get more views and more people watching us. So that's what you do. So what I was telling you all about is just, so the incentive trip, you earn it. Takes a lot of hard work and, of course, the support of customers and team members joining your team and all that good stuff. But it is possible. I never thought it would be possible, but I have earned this was my 4th incentive trip that I've earned. And there is actually a starter kit promotion going on right now. So there's an opportunity to join all the fun. I am going to turn the camera around and finish up that way. Somehow when I'm looking at the camera, I feel like, oh my, like I'm seeing you guys. All right, so I'm back. I hope you guys enjoyed my bookmark and my little ad hoc card. It's a little bit crazy. I kind of, I don't know. It's just a fun background. You can see the close-up with the texture and all that good stuff. And my bookmark. So again, do a review on my Facebook page in order to get those 2 items. I will send them to you in the mail. I will draw a winner. And you have until next Wednesday, which is, I think it's the 2nd, I want to say. I think it's the 2nd. So just a couple of quick reminders, announcements. I'm going to tell you who the prize giveaway was for the tutorial bundle as well. So let's see, what do I need to finish up? Okay, so the starter kit promotion is going on right now, but it ends in like 4 days. It ends on May 31st. So just a quick little snippet about the starter kit. It's $99, but during this special promotion, you get $155 in product for the $99 plus free shipping. You do pay tax on that $99, but it's still a great deal. And the thing that makes this special better and wonderful for a lot of people is that you get to pick all the products. Stampin' Up's not saying you get ink pads or you get stamps or whatever. You get to pick that whole $150 worth of product. And then once you become a demonstrator, you can do anything you want with it. You never have to do parties or sell to anybody else if you don't want to. And you get perks from me, like free technique classes and free tutorial bundles every month. I give my team the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle every month. And anyway, it's pretty awesome. Plus you get discounts on your future orders and pre-orders and all that good stuff. So let me know if you're interested. I would love to have you be a Treehouse Chick with me, my wonderful team. And we have people on here who join us every Thursday who are part of my team. And I love having them join us here for Facebook Lives too. So anyway, let's see. So that's it for the starter kit special. Okay, so last week's giveaway, the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle. And the winner is, are you guys ready? I'm doing my own drum roll. The winner is Jolene Berry. Are you out there, Jolene? I didn't see your name go by, but hopefully you will watch the replay. I think your name was in the newsletter yesterday because I did announce it in my newsletter if you follow me and are a newsletter subscriber. So congratulations to Jolene. You get to let me know which of the 27 different tutorial bundles you would like. So if you're interested in checking those out, anybody, Jolene, of course, you could go to my website, go to the classes and tutorials tab, and towards the bottom is a link to the page for the tutorials. For the tutorial bundles, and there's a little snippet of each of the suites that is featured for those 27 different tutorial bundles. You can also purchase them there as an option as well, or you can join my team and get them for free. So yeah, and next week is actually the week that I will be featuring sneak peeks of the June Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle. And the theme is the in color, so more in color stuff. So fun, right? Everybody's so excited about them. So there will be another fun project with the in colors coming next week. Okay, let's see what else. Anything else I'm forgetting? I'm looking at my notes. You can see me. Make sure to post a review to this Facebook page to get entered into the drawing for these guys. And my blog post for those projects with dimensions, the PDF that you can download to make your own bookmarks will be on my blog on Saturday. And I'll be posting this video to YouTube on Saturday as well. So I think that kind of wraps it up for me. I hope you guys enjoyed my fun little playing with my little cut pieces. It's amazing the things that you can find inspiration in. So hopefully you guys will be playing around with something like that. You can use any punch to do some crazy pattern, right? So why not? All right, I will be back next Thursday, same time, same channel, for another fun project. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And happy crafting, everybody. Thanks for being here. Mwah! Bye.